Spot on, spot off. NASCAR should not have thrown the caution for Hailie Deegan in the Xfinity race. I'm afraid to get an answer, but TJ, you're shaking your head.
No, I wasn't there spotting it, and I wasn't watching it at the time.
Here we go.
I would
Thank
recommend you were watching it,
Mr. Opinionated over here.
I mean, honestly,
Well, I didn't
he
see it.
talked
How-
more
you
in
want
the
me to-
last
You
topic
ain't
than I think
You
he's
ain't
ever
seen a
talked.
replay?
Just put your head.
I
in
have
your
not seen a replay
Just
of
put
it.
your head in your jacket. Take this.
Just go
Freddie,
go outside.
Spot on, spot off.
Come back in 20 minutes.
I mean, there's no choice but to be spot off. And I wish I meant to try to get a chance to run into the race director, Jesse, from that day, but
Jesse is the race director for Xfinity now?
he was that day. Yeah.
Wow.
You could tell they knew they did something wrong because it was a very strange. Oh, you weren't there, so you can't even back this up.
That's what I'm saying.
It was a very strange caution call to begin with. Like there was somebody keyed up, because we can hear. Say somebody keys up the microphone even without if they're not talking.
Yep.
You can hear a button get keyed up and you can hear it. So there was like a key up, and then I don't know if it was a corner guy maybe that I heard say something quick, and the next thing you know the yellow's out, and I'm like, first of all, we couldn't hear a yellow flag all weekend.
Yeah, it was really bad.
It was really bad. The worst it's ever been. So then you're looking for lights. So see the lights are on. You're like, what the? All right, like I don't know what the yellow's for. So then we finally see a replay, and I'm like, how I knew that they screwed up, or that they knew they screwed up, was radio silence after the yellow.
After the caution.
Like it was radio silence for at least a lap. It felt like.
So let's walk you guys through that. Typically, when the caution comes out, there is a sequence of events that happens from the tower to communicate to safety vehicles and to vehicles that are first responders to get on the scene and make sure everybody's okay. So you're telling me after the caution, it was silent.
Silence. It was like they were looking at each other going,
We f***ed up.
who hit that fucking button? Like it was. I guarantee, if the corner again, the radios were not working great, so maybe I missed something on that they said that, but it sounded like a corner worker might have said like turn one, and maybe they just panicked, like they saw Hailie, but Hailie wasn't even sideways. Like I've seen times before where people get like sideways and save it, little smoke come off the tires. She was just kind of running the high lane and got a little out of shape, and the yellow came out. And then the problem with that is you reset the field, and then we wrecked the whole fucking field on the next restart. So this.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't. The drivers control that.
But this is how something like this can't
they're holding the wheel.
This affects the race so much that you can't. It can't happen.
It was a very unfortunate situation. Chandler Smith is checked out. The race is playing out organically. They throw this BS caution, and like Freddie said, it completely changes everything.
Well, the same guy you just said won the race.
It completely changed everything.
Changed everything. But
he
the same
lost
guy that
3
was
spots
checked
on
out
pit
won the
road.
race.
He comes out. He's being very aggressive. For somebody that didn't watch this, you sure know a lot about what happened.
I know who won.
So
How did he win?
By finishing first.
Yeah, when the guy that checked out left rear tire blew out.
He had no idea. Keep talking. We'll just let you have this segment since you're omniscient
saying.
on this subject.
Just saying.
So I'm telling you guys, the problem that I have with this is we shouldn't have thrown the caution. Like we have to decide. We need the same person throwing the caution every week in every single series so that we know there's consistency. Lack of consistency how many times have we come on this show and said there should have been a caution when there wasn't? There should not be a caution when there is. This is one of those times where there is zero reason to throw the caution. And to Freddie's point, when you did throw the caution, pit stops happen. Guys give and take and lose positions on pit road. They have a very aggressive restart up front. The leaders wreck, and they wad up 20 cars.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a bad roughing the passer call in a football game.
It's
a flag that affects the outcome of
or
the game.
like a no pass interference, something like you're changing. I mean, they basically put a company out of business for race manipulation. No, right? I mean, MWR got smoked with but like there's this is the ultimate race manipulation. You're throwing a caution when there's nothing wrong. Like, I obviously you're not doing it intentionally, and I don't know.
The problem is I have lost races for this same stuff. Clint had a massive lead at Dover. This is just one example. I have 50 in my pocket. Clint had a massive lead at Dover, and they literally came over the radio and said, put it out. And I'm like, caution's out. Clint's like, for what? I'm like, cigarette butt. Because there's nothing has happened on the racetrack to warrant a caution. We went on to lose that race. So John Hunter, whoever that thought they probably were in contention to win, they didn't win because of that caution.
No.
You know, Chandler obviously overcame. He was leading the race. He came out fourth, aggressive restart. He is part of the wreck. You know, Chandler and I talked about this yesterday. He called me. He said, "Man, what do you think I did wrong on that restart?" I was like, "Nothing. You were squirting the middle the whole time, and you finally got it to open up. When you shot it, the 98 kind of hit the apron. He come up into you. The 20's kind of coming down. You're in a bad spot." TV said it was John Hunter's fault. I don't think it was all John Hunter's fault. It was a victim of circumstance. But to your point, we don't wad all those cars up if they don't throw that caution.
Yeah, I talked to Chandler. He texted me the same thing. I texted him congrats. I spotted for him last year, obviously. And same thing. I said, man, like you can't change the way. If you change the way you drive, you're not going to win races.
You're not going to win races.
Especially
when your pit crew's losing 3 spots every time you pit.
That's not ideal either.
You gotta.
You have to drive like that to
you
make
have
up
to
those
drive like that
spots.
to make up for it. Yeah.
So Brett, you make the comment of consistency, having the same person making those calls. Well, I mean, I think Jay brought it up. Every sport has those issues, right? Because it's sometimes subjective with a ref or whoever it is. Well, how do you change that? How do you fix it when it's always going to happen in every sport?
There was no reason in that situation to be in a rush to throw the caution. If you thought there was debris there, you have plenty of time to get TV to help you go down there and look with their cameras. Clearly, she barely brushed the wall. I don't even know if she knocked the paint off the wall. She drives off. You cannot – when you see a massive wreck, when you see Denny Hamlin wreck in front of the field and shoot back across the racetrack, that is an automatic caution. Literally, I saw some people yesterday, that shouldn't have been a caution. Yes, it should have been. They're running 160 miles an hour. He wrecked in front of the field. He went across the racing surface. You have to have enough common sense to know that's a caution. But you cannot rush these cautions that shouldn't be cautions. They rushed it.